Happy Friday evening. I'm Jeff Butler of the Butler Law Firm, and this is your daily update on the people against COVID-19. Good news tonight, our donation total has risen. It's now over $17,000. We've got some new donors to talk about and also some good news on the operations front. We got some food deliveries made and have a few more planned. But first, on to our donors. We have a new top donor. So here in the gold category of $1,000 or more, you see John Nyman. Now, Mr. Nyman used to be a professor at the University of Georgia School of Law, which is not his most impressive accomplishment, but it means the most to me because I was one of his students. Since then, I don't know if it was me or someone else, but he moved back to Alabama, where he was from, and now he practices at Maynard Cooper doing general litigation and constitutional and regulatory work. He is the chair of the appellate practice at his firm. He has been a U.S. Supreme Court clerk and the Solicitor General for the state of Alabama. My favorite thing to talk about Professor Nyman tonight, though, is that he's our new top donor because Moses and Chris and I had each given $1,000, but Professor Nyman just efficiently slid right into the top slot with $1,001. So I respect that kind of move. I thought it was skillful. So he's at the top of our board. Following him are Moses Kemp, Chris Stewart, and me. The three of us do personal injury and wrongful death cases. Moses specializes in medical malpractice, Chris in civil rights, and our firm specializes in cases with difficult corporate defendants. Our silver panel over here is unchanged since the last update. Nate Hansford does workers' compensation. We have Anonymous, Phil Pendergrass, and Josh Branch for personal injury and wrongful death. Ronnie Maber, former legislator, is personal injury and wrongful death. Robert Miller is estate planning. Ibrahim Awad is personal injury and criminal defense. We have some new folks in the bronze category. Anonymous is here also. This Anonymous gave in the amount of $377. I'm not sure why that specific number, but I like it. It's anonymous, not for ourselves, but for others. I like it. Jeff Yusinski, Stephen Newton, Madeline Simmons, Ron Daniels, Audrey Tolson, Brad Marsh, Michael Rust, who probably spells it A-E, not E-A, but I thought I'd give him a little variety. Chris Glover, more anonymous, Melissa Davis Strickland, Brian Baer, and Jessica Nix. So good news on the operations side. We made some deliveries. I've had a software problem, so I'm having to do this the old school way. But we show pictures in the old school way here. But this morning, or noon, we delivered a bunch of food to AMC, Atlanta Medical Center South, which is where the Wellstar Kennestone Hospital Network said their big needs were. This donation came specifically from the Atlanta Breakfast Club. And here's a picture of some of the goodies that were dropped off this morning. And right here is a picture of the fine folks who did the drop-off. Now, in this picture, they're just kind of standing out there in front of a tent, smiling. It kind of looks like all they did was show up, kick some food out the door and run off. That isn't actually what happened. It got a little more interesting than that. They, I think, thought they were just going to drop it off and go, but then they were asked to help bring it in. So they were given masks and asked to go in the hospital and deliver the stuff, which they did. So we thank them for doing that and delivering the good food. We're proud to support that local business as well as the doctors and nurses at that hospital. I have one other thing to talk about. I emailed with Professor Nyman this afternoon and said, thanks for your donation. Since you have reverted to your Alabamian roots, would you prefer that we use your donation in Alabama as opposed to Georgia? And he said that no, he felt like his ties to Georgia were strong, and so he was happy with that here. But he wanted me to talk more about the civil defense lawyers who had contributed in hopes of encouraging more of them to do so. So I'm going to do that. Professor Nyman does some civil defense. Normally, I only talk about the practice areas if you get in the gold or the silver slots. But per Professor Nyman, we're going to shake that up this evening. Brad Marsh practices at Swift Curry. He does some product liability defense. He and I have actually been on opposite sides of the V in some cases. Michael Rust does some insurance defense work. He's a partner at GRSMB, which is Gray, Rust, St. Amand, Moffitt, and Brieski. Melissa Davis Strickland does family law, but that's civil, and she probably is defending its own, so that counts. And Jessica Nix does some criminal defense, which isn't exactly civil defense, but it shares one word, so I figured I'd mention it. I also want to thank Barbara Marshak and Drew Eckel, who's done some great work with us. Her name isn't on the board, but she was really helpful in...
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you please repeat it?
Siri, I wasn't talking to you. Anyway, as to Barbara Marshak, she did some great work helping us reach out to her firm and other firms on the civil defense side. She's with us in the Daily Report article that went online yesterday. So we thank her. We thank all of our donors. We thank Atlanta Breakfast Club and the other restaurants who are pitching in. We should have some more food deliveries on Monday. And as always, we especially thank the doctors and nurses on the front lines of this fight.